When I got there in 1977, actually, reform, I consider reform was back in before in the 80s, 81s. But then when I got started in 77, there was in the process of that the class action lawsuits that were being filed, discrimination lawsuits between I think Antonio versus Ward Cove, New England Fish Company, and all the major processors were being sued at that time for discrimination practices, you know, with specifically the Filipino crews, which were working in the fish house. There was segregation. There was differences in the meals, in the type of job classifications that which were being held by you know, different minority groups, and that the Filipinos were held to only working in the plant. And there were other jobs which were which were at higher levels, but were restricted to non-Filipinos, and so that there's very discriminatory practices as far as bunking, room and board, and the employment practices that they had, specifically holding Filipinos mainly in the fish house. And so during that time when I was working there, I felt very discriminated against. Never felt that before. Coming from an area in central Washington where I never was pretty naive and never felt any discrimination, and being young, I think I was 19 years old at the time, or wasn't accustomed to that, and so I rebelled, and you know, consequently was able to fight through some of that stuff and become part of the, you know, the class action lawsuits that you know, and really being able to witness a lot of that discrimination myself. It was pretty sad. Whereas you know, we're put in a certain area, we're only able to eat certain types of foods, and we weren't able to really be or live in certain parts of the cannery. We were restricted in, you know, places we can go, things we can do, and you know, and primarily the work that we could do. We weren't able to graduate to higher levels of you know, jobs at that time, and which we would be able to, you know, we'd have the skills to do. I mean, and but we weren't able to get that opportunity.